Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Oklahoma Esports League. This time in playoffs for Valorant, we are watching Booker T and Union today. It is the first round of the playoffs, still a best of one and a double elimination bracket. So for whoever loses today, it's not the end of the road for the season. They still have a loser's bracket to play through, but I don't know, Jackson. I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah, and this is a matchup that we actually did see a couple weeks ago, so this will be a repeat going into the beginning of the playoffs. And last time we did see Booker T. Washington take the W on that one, so we will have to see how this one goes, if Tulsa can bring this one back or if Booker T is ready to go through this again.
Yeah, really exciting to be able to see this rematch. Booker T on this left side here, starting on the defense with that double initiator comp. I believe actually the last time we watched them on Ascent as well. Meanwhile, we have on the attack side Union still deciding on what exactly their composition is here. Looks like they're going to go for double initiator as well. Maybe floating that breach pick from Vin. And yes, I believe that's going to be what it is going in there. So we have that double flash initiator comp. I know if I was playing against that comp, I would not be a happy camper on the defensive side.
Yeah, definitely an interesting composition to bring out, but starting on attack, Tulsa Union pulling out the breach, the ISO, the Omen, the Sky, and the Jet. No Sentinel to their name, going for the aggressive plays. I don't hate the idea. I think if you're starting on attack, especially on a defensive sided map like Ascent, trying to get as many rounds as possible on this attack is what you might want to go for, and it looks like that's what they want to do, pulling out the ISO, the Jet, with the Breach and Sky on some Initiator and an aggressive controller on Omen. Looks like they could just be looking to 5-man rush these sites with as much utility as possible.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Ascent, obviously a really space-dependent map with how open the mid is, just being able to get a lot of control there. And then the two main chokes, both on A main and B main, being very solid defensive points. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's taking a little bit to load in here. Sometimes the systems and Valorant just hates us. They hate Valorant.
They hate us because they ain't us.
They really just don't want us to be able to play this exciting playoff game. But like we were saying, Booker T. Washington and Tulsa Union are actually the 4 and the 5 seed. Booker T. ending their regular season 5-2, while Tulsa Union was 4-3. But should be a really close game here. I think these are two good teams. We've seen them a couple times on stream. Both have been really, really impressive. Luca is one I remember that we talked about a lot on that Booker T side. Was definitely able to frag out really well.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they do coming into this game. Again, like we talked about, Booker T taking the initial duel between the Tulsa and Booker T in the regular season. So I think we actually watched it on Ascent too. So very familiar for both teams, familiar playing against each other as well. So we'll have to see what they want to do. But for now, looks like we're having some technical difficulties going into here. So never mind. I was about to say be right back, but not now. We just got into the game, of course, as I say that. But
the game heard you.
Yeah, they were like, no, we got it, I promise. But yeah, Union going to go ahead and start on this attack here. Going to have to see what they want to do.
Yeah, and I think something that we didn't touch on a whole lot during the composition phase is that Union actually doesn't have a Sentinel. They're running out that double duelist, double initiator, very attack-sided comp, but we have to worry about those flankers as well. Does look like we have a little bit of technical difficulty. Banksy here actually stuck in spawn still. Maybe a little bit of a loading issue, probably why it took us a little bit to get into screen. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a pause, and yes, it looks like one of the coaches, probably for Booker T, called a technical timeout. So we may be a second until we can get into this exciting game of Valorant here.
Banksy might be just restarting, so shouldn't be too long before we can get them in the game. But looks like Union is going to take the quick aggression towards the A site to start this game. Maybe baiting a little bit, but that looks like what they're going to want to do. And it's like I said before, their entire goal on this attack is probably just going to end up being 5-manning everything. They have all the utility, they have the aggression. You're kind of just wasting potential if you're trying to send anybody on a lurk. If anybody can do it, probably would be the ISO, just to get some one-on-one engagements caught out, get a couple picks. but it would only be the ISO at most. I think what they're looking to do is just send as many as possible.
Yeah, and we do have a stream delay, so we're not too worried about anything changing, even with this tech pause, as we have this wonderful cinematic. Man, it feels like I'm starting a movie right now. In the beginning, there was Ascent, and that's where we were
Mirror
playing
Earth.
Valorant. Yeah. Honestly, I've never looked this much outside of the map in Valorant this much, especially on Ascent. Like, obviously, I knew there was floating buildings and stuff, but, like, there's a lot of floating buildings. This is kind of going crazy.
Radianite explosion.
Oh, is that what happened?
I don't know.
Well, that's what
All
their spike is, right? Is that it blows up with Radianite?
Well, so no. The lore is that there's a mirror Earth and they're out of Radianite and they're invading our Earth, or Alpha, I think is what it's called. And the spike is supposed to detonate to take the Radianite from our Earth and take it back to the mirror Earth.
Well, that was your lore dump on this Valorant playoff match, but we've already started with a quick attack from Union. Going to get some trades. Hello World finding Vin and Soy, trading it back out. Going to be a good take for Union here. Going to be able to get onto the site. Banksy looking for retake through the door. A nice sonar onto the Union Redhawks. Banksy going to find one through that door, getting Zach and just existing. A couple of picks coming back and forth. 3v2 for Booker T. Washington. Looking to clear the spots. Cavalry with the 2-tap on Soy. And finally the cleanups on Booker T. Washington.
Yeah, and that will be round one for Booker T. Going into the second round with some buys. The Union going to go ahead and save. So looks like Booker T just going to take yet another round. Union, obviously only first round, but they're going to be wanting, especially with this composition, to be getting as many rounds as possible on this attack. So it wouldn't surprise me if they try to force up a little bit here, maybe try to take the second round. Just get as aggressive as possible. If you're going to come out with this comp, you may as well try to get as aggressive as you want.
Yeah, for sure. And really what I think the biggest issue is, and I think we saw Union do this throughout the regular season as well when we watched them on this site, is they are really effective at taking this A main, but then struggle holding it because they're not taking a lot of additional space.
That one way going to come out from Hello World on the side of Booker T to try to stop that push that is on the A side. It looks like Union is still going to try to force it up a little bit. Karina on that lurk, trying to make something happen, but Banksy, unfortunately, with the gun advantage. Sheriff versus Spectre does get taken out there. Union Redhawks down a player now. Going to look to maybe rotate here. The Jet and the Breach are going to stay here in A main and try to find something. See those pings come out, looking for a line. Hello World going to go ahead and re-smoke that off. Zach looking for an angle on mid here. Soy going to go ahead and dash in with just the classic. The stun from the Breach is going to allow Soy to take that Spectre as well as the pick on a Hello World. Luca and Cavalry getting two on their own. Soy spraying Luca down with that borrowed Spectre with only a few HP remaining. Cavalry does take them out with a shock dart. Zach about to get peeked here. Takes a couple pop shots, but unfortunately Daydream is going to finish that off. Booker T going to take that round, but Union Redhawks does have the buy now. Booker T on their bonus. We saw a couple Vandals come out, so their buy not terrible, or their bonus not terrible right now. Looks like Luca's going to go ahead and take the aggressive third round operator instead of holding up that bonus. I like the aggressive play, but could go really sour for them. We'll just have to see how this goes.
Yeah, Valorant is definitely a momentum-based game. Luca trying to keep that momentum as he's taking the mid control with that op. Union there, not a bad take, just a little bit of a gun diff as we are looking a little bit slower, getting smoked off mid. Luca not going to be able to control this, and that's going to let the ISO for Union walk all the way up this corridor. This is actually a signature play. I love this play so much. Karina looking for the space in Garden, some space to make, now having a rifle. Getting shut down by Banksy, going to be able to control that Garden, and a lot of good shots from Hello World. A nice 3K, 1, 2, 3, like he's in the practice range. A great round 3 from Booker T. Washington, shutting down Union's buy round.
Yeah, you know, I was talking about how maybe the buy was a little bit too aggressive, maybe not able to do a whole lot, but proved me wrong. Hello World doing a lot of work there, getting those 3, able to clean up that third round for Booker T. Union, like we were talking about, very aggressive team, wanting these attack rounds, not looking great for the beginning here, but I just don't think they were expecting that. I think they just need to shake it off a little bit. They have definitely the potential to bring this one back. We'll just have to see what they do. Daydreaming Cavalry here on this defense. Union just trying to force in as fast as possible. All 5 of them with these sheriffs just trying to overwhelm them, get a couple guns. Cavalry and Daydream trying to hold this cross here, spotting out a couple with that Silva Dart. Gonna go ahead and go in. Daydream trying to make something happen. Does manage to take out Soy, but Vin will get the trade. Luca coming in with that operator is able to take one out. Cavalry getting another. Ellie trying to get a couple shots there. Doesn't quite get it. Vin with a second onto Luca. Gonna try to find a weapon. Doesn't expect Cavalry to be there. Only 11 HP remaining. Can't find the clicks. Is able to get the 3. 4-0 for Union.
Yeah, and this is something that can happen whenever you have a strong Sentinel like Daydream on Booker T. Washington. There's so many angles that are getting covered by this util that Union is not really taking advantage of currently. It's a lot of rushes down main, and they're able to get good takes, a lot of good flash initiation, but there's just so many things that Booker T doesn't have to worry about at this situation. A lot of the time, they're being stuck to being in this one main angle, and it's letting the retake from Booker T be all focused on that one angle. So if I'm Union here, I'm going to try and spread it up a little bit. Maybe look for some of these duels, take more mid space, and make sure that we're executing all at the same time. Corona with a good entry here onto Banksy, looking for the clear. Hello World going to get double smoked out. Some spray coming through, breaks the ISO shield. A lot of spray going back and forth between the door, but no door broken. Another really good take from Union Redhawks as the retake starts happening. Luca with the jet dash enabled, looking for the pick. Not expecting Soy to play so aggressive up on the high. Eli getting the flank as well. Hello World finding one, Cavalry finding one. Some trades going back and forth. Hello World with 3, gets the dink through the wall.
Only 4 HP remaining. Pulls out the right click, cleans it up for 4. 5-0 start for Booker T.
I thought that round was going all Union Redhawks. I'm not going to lie to you. And a really good sonar dart from Cavalry into the Silva ult, starting this at an 8-1 defense for Cavalry here with 5 assists as well, totally putting the Booker T team on his back, being able to get a lot of really strong picks here and be able to turn rounds that are uncomfortable for Booker T. A lot of these rounds are getting closer for Union, but it's still having a little bit of that struggle getting all the way there.
Yeah, Union feeling comfortable on the A push, though. They're going to go ahead and do it again. Just forcing up really fast. Ellie going to go ahead and throw out that Sky ult. Actually decides not to. Just going to go ahead and take it. Karina with 1. Banksy cleaning up 2, though. Ellie and Vin come back with 2 more. Booker T, only 2 players remaining here with Luca and Cavalry trying to make something happen. Luca with a fantastic shot there onto Zach on the switch. Ellie just trying to live here. Only 13 HP, only has this Guardian. Throws out the flash, tries to get a peek, spots out 1, doesn't quite get the shot. The jet smoke's gonna force them into a weird corner. Swinging at the same time, gonna go ahead and clean that one up. A 6-0 lead here for Booker T. Washington.
Yeah, a lot of util being thrown at Eli there, being able to actually just completely corner down the Sky on that generator angle and force the 1v2, which is not what Eli wants to have unless they want to have a clip of their lifetime. Again, Union is getting into these 2v2, 3v2 scenarios, and then they're letting ones happen, especially with engagement of util. There we saw the Cavalry drone walk out, while Luca actually was able to get the pick onto Zach. Union just needs to try and force more of these 2v2 scenarios, because honestly, Union's doing a great job at trading whenever they have the angles to trade. So it's really just respecting your teammates' angles and being able to trade out on those, especially when you're on those eco rounds.
Unfortunately, Union Redhawks is on another save here. Just doesn't have the economy. Soy going to go ahead and pop the knives to try to get some picks here with whatever they can do. But Booker T reading the A push. They've done it the past few rounds. So 4 of Booker T's players are already over on this A site. Union, if I were them, go ahead and rotate this one. Banksy and Luca getting 2 picks, one of them from Cat. Now they're just kind of cornering them. Vin gets a nice shot at a Daydream, but gets traded out by Hello World. Ellie with the Sheriff here in main is going to go ahead and leave. Only 2 players remaining here on the Union Redhawks. Are getting boxed in here a little bit by this Sova here.
A lot of time though, 50 seconds. Cavalry walking up from behind. Eli not expecting it. Cavalry going to be able to get that one flank, and now it's a 1v4. Cavalry with another one. Some really nice shots there from Cavalry on the flank, even with the awareness of Soy knowing that Eli just went down from that flank, still being able to get the taps, rocking a 12-1 KD to start this game.
Yeah, definitely a not-so-great start here for Union. Booker T kind of reading them fairly well, too. Union just trying to force up that A site. It looks like it feels a little bit better for them. Now going to go ahead and go over to the B, but Booker T already stationing 3 players with the Killjoy util over there. Cavalry having that Odin as well.
Yeah, my guess is they don't want to walk into this Killjoy util. Luka getting flashed here. The ISO ulti also coming out. Breach flash coming out. Luka going to be able to get one and slow down this push. A lot of util coming out from the KJ, but more util coming out from the attackers. Karina going to get Luka here. Cavalry trading it out. A lot of trades going back and forth. Cavalry with 3 with the Odin spam through the smoke. God, I love Ascend. And the 4th one from Cavalry as well onto Vin. Another really good defensive stand. And I think right there we saw exactly why Union is not favoring going this B side. Walking into Sova Killjoy util on the B main is going to be really difficult for them to push for, even with their offensive sided comp. Just the way Ascent is set up, there's so many wall bangable moments that you're able to get a lot of shots through the wall before the attackers even have a chance to know where you are.
Yeah, Cavalry with the 16-1 stat line already, 8-0 here for Booker T. Washington. Just doing a fantastic job right now of reading Union. Gonna decide to send this Jet on a lurk to maybe try and make some sound. Union deciding to go up mid this time. Haven't done that before. Booker T. Washington not quite ready for this. Karina gonna go ahead and play this aggressive angle into the CT to try to get some rotation picks. The rest of Union just going to force out on the B site. Karina still sitting here waiting with the Ares. About to see a couple people walk through. Karina manages to get one, but gets traded out by Banksy. Zach getting Banksy as well. A 3v3 here, but Union not quite able to take space on site just yet. Soy manages to get 2 amazing shots. Luka trading one out, but unfortunately the only one remaining does have the knives. Decides to drop that op for a Vandal, but still has the 5 knives remaining here. Knows one is probably sitting towards this Marcus side, is about to get collapsed by both teammates. Looks like they're just going to look for the double swing, and Soy swinging it out manages to get the tap onto Luka. 3 to take Union around. 8-1 here for Booker T.
Yeah, really nice job by Union there, being able to assess the mid opening. I feel like Booker T. Washington had gotten very used to the A and B takes, that there wasn't a lot of mid control going on. Pushing through that molly really fast, or that Killjoy alarm bot that Killjoy has, and then immediately you see Booker T. Washington turn into a different type of team. They have to worry about more angles. They have to worry about the rotates in their spawn. A lot of good opportunity picks there from Union, and they're able to trade it out effectively.
Yeah, Union going to start around on the A side. Maybe just feeling it out. I think Union could be looking to rotate here, and that's what they're going to do. Go ahead and force out the fast rotate. I like this play here from Union. A couple of them going mid, a couple of them going through CT just to try to make some headway. But Cavalry in a fantastic spot here. Just waiting. Union trying to feel it out. Does get spotted, and is able to get taken out there. Ooh. Karina getting a nice one onto Daydream. 2 down for Booker T. Union making some headway.
A lot of really good picks by Union here. Once again, taking that mid control. It's a 2v5 for Booker T, but both members on site. Karina going to swing here into Luka. Luka's going to get the trade. Vin taking out Hello World, and all of a sudden it is the Luka show. Looking for the flanker. Can they locate it? Yes, Eli on the flank going down.
6
Luka.
bullets left. Not quite sure that Soy is there. Gets a nice shot onto Vin. Still not aware of Soy's presence. Are they going to get spotted out? And Soy does take him out before Luka can realize they are there. And that will be 2 rounds in a row here for the Union Redhawks, starting to bring a few back.
Yeah, starting to get some momentum here, and being able to stack that double angle really threw Luka off, I think, on that retake. Soy playing the slightly softer off angle and getting that tap. But still a little scary if you're a Union player. You're up 4v1 and it goes to a 1v2. Just need to be careful about how you're forcing those ones in that situation.
Yeah, I'd be pretty scared too. About Union going to decide to force it towards the B side, sending out that Sky Flash to gain some information. Does spot out at least one. Daydream going to decide to back up, being the only one on the site here. Sits in the CT angle. Luca spots out Soy here. Just that angle from the operator does get taken by the ISO ulti. Karina with that shield against an operator. Looks like Luca might just go down, and that is exactly what happens. Eli manages to take out Banksy as well there. Only 2 players down for Booker T. Another one down at the hands of Karina. Soy managing to get one as well. Looks like a flawless round coming out from the Union Redhawks. Only 1 player remaining here for Booker T Washington. And Karina will finish that one off on Daydream. Flawless round for the Union Redhawks. 3 in a row going into this match point.
Yeah, all of a sudden what looked like a blowout almost. Union starts to breathe life again and making it where, especially if they get this round and turn it to 8-4, Jackson, a very winnable game, really what we needed to see. But my worry is, did they figure it out too late? Did they figure out what they needed to change and just drop too many rounds? We're going to have to see how quickly they can adjust on defense as well as how they do in this last round.
Yeah, I think if they can get 4 rounds at the very end here, especially in a row, I think that momentum can certainly carry into the next half. They'll start feeling a little bit better about how it's going and starting off strong here. Vin managing to get that early tap onto Calvary. So far, dominant player onto Booker T Washington. Exactly what you want to see. And Karina right now getting another. Karina doing so well these last couple of rounds, getting so much here, but does get taken out there by Luca. A 4v3 here for Booker T Washington. The bomb about to go down. Zach gonna get it down. 70 HP remaining on Vin. Does take out Luca, but Daydream with a quick trade onto Vin is gonna go ahead and throw down that Killjoy ulti. They have the Omen ulti as well to try to make something happen. But Soy decides to swing out of that Omen smoke and take out Hello World. Daydream just gonna wait for this Killjoy ulti to go out. All 3 of Union's players remaining in main. One does get taken out. Soy trying to make the quick pop shot. Does get taken out. The dog gonna slow down Daydream a little bit here. Decides to tap the bomb. Does get paranoia by Zach there, but does get the cleanup. And 8-4 Union Redhawks with the last 4 in a row. Hopefully this can convert towards their defensive half, especially if they can win this pistol round.
What a great turnaround by the Union Redhawks at the end of that attack. Being able to walk into this 8-4, this is definitely a livable round. And realistically, I think Union has the momentum right now. Being able to get 4 rounds in a row, you're feeling good. And if you're Booker T Washington, you're feeling a little bit nervous about how those last couple rounds go. And like I said at the beginning of the game, Ascent is all about mid control and just general map control. But also, like I said at the beginning of the game, Union doesn't have a Sentinel. They're not able to lay off these angles like Booker T Washington was and just care for util to be able to cover it for most of the time. So it's going to be really difficult for them to spread their manpower and take care of all the angles that you need to.
Yeah, that one-way smoke going to come down. Soy playing a little bit more aggressively, just taking that A main space. A lot walking this cat here for Booker T. Union just playing slow, waiting.
So much free space too. Vin walked off of it in Garden. 3 walking up this catwalk now.
Here's it. Tries to send out the concuss. Doesn't hit a couple. Hello World is going to take out Vin there. Cavalry spots out Soy and a fantastic headshot to start. Bomb going down for the side of Booker T. Only 3 players remaining. That Sky Flash going to go out. Daydream getting a nice lurk onto Karina. Eli manages to take out Daydream, though, but with only 37 HP, what can they do? Spots out Cavalry, but Cavalry just quicker to react. Zach manages to get one, but with only 46 health and that bomb down, not a lot that they can do in the remainder of this round, except maybe get a couple more picks.
1 at a time. Time's a ticking, and Cavalry with the 3K there. Similar to what Union was struggling with, Booker T got a lot of free space on that round, especially up the mid into that catwalk. And just based off of how rotations were sitting, almost knew where every defender on the A side were, where they were, pardon me. Really good round by Booker T. Gets that pistol, starts getting some momentum back. Union, if you're Union, looks like you're going to force up here. Try and play for this success right here.
Yeah, I think Union is right to go ahead and force up here. They are down enough rounds, especially losing that pistol, not looking fantastic, especially with the composition that they do have. I think trying to force up and just get as many picks on the second round, especially if you can run that into the next round and get your team to a 9-6, it looks a lot healthier for you than taking the 10-4. Booker T going to aggressively force onto the site. Union deciding to back up. I think that is the smart play here. Unfortunately, pulls out their knife at just the wrong time. The timing not looking great, and Booker T Washington is just cleaning up the rest of this round. Eli manages to take out one, but it looks like Cavalry will finish it up. 10-4 here for Booker T and Union off the back of a force 2. Not exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, combined with the unlucky timing and just Booker T hitting the weak side of the defensive composition, it was going to be a really big struggle for Union there. Now they're in this weird situation where they're down 6 rounds. You need to be able to get some momentum back like you did in the first round. What is the play here? Do you go for an eco and try and gamble with those last 2 rounds for a little bit? Or do you just continue forcing? It looks like they want to take the force.
You don't want to force it to match point, but if you have to give to 11 just to get your economy up, you have to do what you have to do and hope you can win those rounds. But right now, Booker T just defaulting around the map. 3 over on A, 2 over on B. Luca and Daydream getting 2 early picks. 2 of the Union Redhawks going down early. The rest of them over on the B site. A is now free for Cavalry to take this bomb over. Karina does manage to take Daydream out, and Cavalry will go ahead and get this bomb down. Zach already over, but Luca with the aggressive push through the heaven. Eli aware of it. Is going to have to break this glass, though. That will trigger the sound for the rest of Booker T. Cavalry with a nice pick. Karina, the last one remaining, and Luca will clean that one up. 11-4. Union now with a bit better economy going to have to take this round. Or else you force yourself into another save on this match point. Or if not save, but, you know, rough force,
Another rough buy, yeah, for sure. And just trying to take a lot of gun duels, Union is, when they really don't have the equipment to deal with it. Like, you're running Stingers into Vandals, that's always going to be a really big issue on no matter what side you're on. I want to see something creative, something inspirational from Union here, a strat that Booker T will not be expecting.
Vin starting off strong for the Union Redhawks, getting a first pick onto Luca. 2 players sitting over on the B side as well. Soy getting a nice shot with that Guardian onto Cavalry. 2 good players down. Karina tries to make something happen, but Daydream with 2 nice picks quickly evens up the scoreline here. Daydream with another one, but Vin gets the trade out. Daydream just looking so good right now. Hello, world. Vin, the only one remaining, not quite sure where the last 2 players are. Teammate just got taken out in mid, is going to try to look for it, but the swing is about to come out from main as well. Decides to go ahead and back up and take the main swing. Is able to take out Banksy, a 1v1, and Vin with the clutch with that last headshot onto Hello World there in Market. The man that we needed to get that round for the Union Redhawks, a round that they so desperately needed.
Yeah, I was talking about being creative, and I don't know, I felt like that was a pretty standard play, but I also talked about being inspirational, and Vin was nothing short of it that round, coming up with the clutch 4K for that Union Redhawks, and they are staying alive, starting to get their eco fix too. They're in a lot better of a position than it would be, obviously, if it was 12-4.
Yeah, and they're going to start out with the aggressive play onto B. Eli does get paranoid there, has to back up. Go ahead and throws that Killjoy ulti down. Also has the Sova ult to back it up for the post plant. 4 seconds remaining. Karina just trying to hold in that back sight, but just can't. Luca able to take him out. Soy with the aggressive push here with Zach to try to get back on the side as fast as possible. Soy manages to take out 2. Vin gets another. Cavalry manages to take out Eli, though. Cavalry takes out 2, now quickly in a 2v2, but with that bomb down, Hello World does get taken out by Zach. Cavalry, the only one remaining, and the bomb is being defused, is going to have to pull out that Sova ulti. Does manage to take out Soy on the bomb. 3 for Cavalry right now, has to quickly force out Zach, going to go ahead and try to stick that bomb. Decides to just stick with the tap and tries to get the spray onto Cavalry, but unfortunately Cavalry does clean that one up, putting the Booker T Washington on the match point.
Yeah, what a crazy play from Cavalry there. Basically playing 2v4 with Hello World as the other trader, being able to get a lot of value out of the utility, stall it out, obviously getting the elimination with the ultimate, and the gunplay, killing 2 in their rotation, as well as clearing off of the bomb. Really nice play from Cavalry. Very clutch for Booker T. Washington.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to see what Union can do in this last round. They need, what?
They need 8.
8 in a row? Dude,
9 to win,
I can't
technically.
do math.
Yeah, that's how.
You're the math guy.
Yeah, the Valorant score, you go to 13, but if it's tied 12-12, you start going to OT. That's how the Valorant game works. Looks like we're having another B rush here, and this is really rough for Union on this economy. Luca coming in with 2, getting Corinna and Eli. He's going to clear out this site really fast, and now all of Union's hopes to stay in winner bracket relies on this retake. Cavalry
It actually is a double elimination, so even if Luca, sorry, I saw Luca in the kill feed, even if Union does take the loss here, which that will be the case, Booker T quickly cleaning that one up. But it is a double elimination bracket, as we talked about at the beginning, so Union does still have a chance to bring this one back. Booker T also starting out, I think, is the #1 seed coming into the tournament. So, you know,
they're the number 4 seed. Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was 4 versus 5. That's what we just watched. Booker T was 4 and Union was 5. But yes, Union is still in. They're in the losers bracket now. They'll be playing again next week. Shout out to Booker T getting that really dominant win, that 13-5 win over Union. And Union, I think if they start without as much of a slow start as they did, that is much closer of a game.
Yeah, I certainly agree. I think they needed to shake it off a little bit and just kind of bring that one back. But thank you guys so much for watching today's stream, and we will see you next time for some more playoffs.